Oh, dat is...
De Amsterdammer.
Ja. Oh, je spreekt ook Holland.
Nee.
Comedian.
Okay, take money.
You're bij comedian.
Comedian.
Okay, we're just going to get some
Hij is al onder man.
Pardon?
But you were there.
A beer? Oh right, okay.
To make you feel totally at home.
just hide the label, that's
Ga voor de bier.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't bring one for you.
I'll bring one for him.
No, okay, I'll bring one in a minute, yeah?
Okay. It's a bit big.
Er zit water in, hè? Pas op, gif.
okay. Yeah, okay. We'll let it go down here then as well.
Do these look a little kind of...
They don't look girly. I don't know that they're very you.
Large.
They're not too girly.
You don't mind just modelling these for a minute, will you, just so I can see what they look like? I'll tolerate it.
Beetje scheef is iets.
Yeah.
Here you go, sir.
No, have a beer.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, yes.
Drink jongen werk.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Rolling? Okay. John, all the press you've had,
Yeah.
they've all been like completely astonished that you're not another dirty little Grebo band. I don't know what it is about your image that everybody expects you to be like another Midlands Grebo band. What exactly, how would you define your music and why do you think there's so much surprise at that?
Well, I think the Grebo thing probably comes from the fact of two things, you know, that we're from where we're from, like the East Midlands, which for some reason has got that tag. At last it's got a tag, and the tag is like that. And also the diesel bit in the name, you know. But in actual fact, cheers, thanks, okay, that's two I've got now. But the kind of music itself comes from the fact that we were always very isolated, you know, when we first started rehearsing and doing demos and things. We never felt part of any kind of movement, even in our home sort of territory. Partly because of the influences that we had, you know, the records that we all dug and listened to, and also because we just tended to keep ourselves to ourselves, really. I guess, yeah, people are astonished that we're not. I mean, we are dirty, but we ain't Grebos. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people thought, here comes the Gay Bikers, here comes Crazy Hair, the next one along. Well, it's not that at all.
Yeah.
It seems your influences come from sort of like a psychedelic period in the States and all sorts,
Yeah.
which people don't expect from Leicester.
No, right. I think, you know, it's interesting. One of the interesting things about the whole kind of pop thing, really, is the fact that you can get seemingly like bizarre, you know, sort of setups where people from a place as unlikely as Leicester, then, which is in the, you know, the heart of England, sort of were influenced by that. It's just that we had exposure to a lot of those records at the time. I can't remember how now, but I know that we got into like the Springfield and the Moby Grape and the Birds, Arthur Lee, Love, all that kind of thing, just had an appeal for us, you know, on a strictly sort of musical level. And when we first started rehearsing and jamming and stuff, and we just played like that, you know, and got into it as a thing, you know. I mean, for instance, Hung Upside Down, the Stephen Stills, Neil Young thing, you know, was the song one of the first songs we sort of ever jammed on.
Yeah.
That's from Buffalo Springfield again, folks.
What do you actually extract from that music? What do you actually put into your music?
Well, you know, we're not one sort of a thing that I think we avoid successfully is sort of any kind of sort of revivalism or accusations even of it, or you know, what it is that we extract from it. That's what you said, yeah, extract. Yeah. But it's like this sort of the texture of a lot of the guitar playing, the style of the guitar playing. I mean, that was something that really kind of turned us on, you know, and the kind of harmony layers, you know. We like see harmonies, vocal harmonies became almost a sort of dirty word, you know, like vocal harmonies meant something really sort of sweet and syrupy and cabaret, you know. For a long time it meant that, right? Yeah. Well, we took the view that if you can get involved in all those, let's face it, like traditional musical areas like harmony, you know, it's particularly like vocal harmony and so guitar, playing guitar off, you know, 3 guitars playing themselves off sort of as a unit, you know. But you know, if you do it with an edge and with a kind of cut, you know, it's really works as a potent sound. You know? And a lot of English bands sort of missed the point on that. I think it's one of the disappointments of English music of the last, since punk maybe.
Yeah.
It's been it's almost like, you know, this sort of cultural. Some things are like completely verboten, you know, and not allowed. A lot of sort of the musicality, you know, like of harmonies and stuff is not allowed. We're just doing that.
Why do you think that is? Do you think there's a sort of a fashion snobbery associated with music, and particularly in the UK?
Yeah, the dictation of fashion, yeah. And the journalists don't help, you know. I mean, I enjoy reading The Enemy, you know. I enjoy reading especially when they're being like, you know, cynical, whether it's about us or anybody else. If I'm honest, I do enjoy, you know, reading their kind of like thing. But I think they have a lot to answer for in terms of, you know, a lot of the kind of the kids, you know, the people that like are just coming up, you know, like maybe they're 16 or 17 years old and are just getting into music now. They're sort of very much being influenced by, let's face it, cynical 30-year-olds, you know, which is about where it's got to now.
Oh, yeah.
And in Britain, it's unfortunate, but it gives it an edge. It makes it fun. It shouldn't be pleasant all the time, you know. It'd be boring then.
I think one of the most unfair criticisms was that of, as you said, revivalism.
Yeah.
You know, and my view. I mean, what is there new to do? I mean,
yeah. See, this like music, you know. I don't take the view that anything is like completely original, you know. I mean, it ain't. You know, it's like passing things on all the time. That's what it's about. And you know, I think it's a sort of lazy sort of description of us. I mean, we've been quite upfront about our influences. We've not tried to hide them. Yeah. And some people have gone, oh, you know, that's what they are. But really, if they listen carefully, we've got a lot more to offer than just sort of revivalism. But we'll never deny the influences that we have. That's pointless.
I think in a way, like I say, you're going back to the guitar, which is not, I mean, it's the guitar, for God's sake. It's been there forever. Right. But it's new again. It's fresh.
Yeah.
Was that conscious?
A lot of the guitar thing was, you know, like, what I don't know when it must have happened, but, you know, the early 70s or whatever, but, you know, the guitar hero, you know, the sort of electric rock star guitar thing. I think in a way that tainted the image of the guitar, and it was kind of unfortunate for its development in a way. You know, everybody sort of seemed to want to be like Jimmy Page or Jimi Hendrix or something, you know. And I suppose those people were fine at the time, but they sort of arrested the development of the guitar. And an important thing to us is like the blend of, you know, like 2 guitars is much better than 1, you know, and 3 is, if you can handle it, you know, it's like, wow, you know, let's get that one sorted. The electric guitar is like not the most original instrument in the world, you know, but I think it's been pretty limited in its use up to now, you know. And,
are you grateful to bands like the Bunnymen and Patti Smith, Johnny Marr, for leading that way?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I'm grateful that they were around during the periods, you know, just sort of flying a bit of guitar flag. Yeah. Patti Smith was great. I saw her once at the Reading Festival.
You're on the stage of success where you could really push into the charts and all the other areas. Does that make you nervous, entering that sort of commercial pressure?
You know, the thing is, if you sort of acknowledge that there's a responsibility attached, with, you know, okay, if you want success, you know, you be you set yourself up as a pop star, a pop singer or whatever, you know, and all the attendant kind of razzmatazz around it, that's kind of justifiable, or at least you can handle it, you know. It doesn't make you nervous as long as you're confident in the music. That's where it really comes from. I mean, that sounds like a terribly sort of a hippie thing to say, man, but it's true, you know. It's the kind of the confidence comes from like when we hear like tracks that we've recorded or that are good, you know, we know they're good, and we do a gig that we know we were good that night, you know. I mean, that's where it all comes from, and you know, it's a pretty strong.
But also with the band, there seems to be a real confidence that you know how you want to be marketed. You know what the market is like.
A confidence in how we want to be marketed.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that we could ever be marketed in any way that was not really closely associated with what we do musically. You know, we are commodities, else we wouldn't be making records that people can buy in shops. But you know, there's a responsibility with it as well of maintaining the standard. We ain't nervous of anything.
No, but where did you lose the nerves? I mean, a lot of bands get pushed around too easily, whereas you know what you want, and hopefully you're going to get it. Where did that confidence come from?
Well, like I say, I think a lot of it comes from the rehearsals, you know, and stuff. When you know, it's a great feeling when you're kind of playing, and you know, yep, that's really good. That is, you sort of, it fortifies you. You know, you can. It's based on that, you know. If we were a little more lightweight or unsure musically about what we were capable of and what we wanted to do, then maybe a lot of things would start getting to us, you know. We'd start to just flip a bit.
You're being sort
Listen to him, he's not nervous, is he? Oh, he's miming.
That's lip sync, yeah. You're being discussed in terms of being the next big stadium rock band in a way. Does that appeal?
Well, it's nice to play to as many people as possible, yeah. As long as you don't just treat it like, how many can we pack in here then, you know? Once you get on stage, I mean, you've probably heard people say this before, but it's true, you know, once you get on stage, you know, it's really just down to the event as it happens, you know, whether it's a club or a stadium. Yeah, I'd like to think that we can do that. Yeah, we can play in stadiums and get through to lots of people instead of just, you know, a few hundred at the front.
There are only a certain amount of bands that actually manage to do that. But what is it about your music do you think it is that you could actually cover a stadium gig?
Well, we're not ignorant to the power of a good chorus, you know. I mean, and that can sometimes be a trap, you know, where you write songs that are just all sort of designer choruses, you know. And we don't want to fall into that trap.
I think we'll wait.
See, like, yeah.
He's got a point. You know, he's got a point.
It's easy for him to say that.
Are you worried about being sort of thought of as the next Simple Minds, the next U2? You know, that sort of trapped in that way.
Do you know, I haven't got one U2 album or one Simple Minds. I don't know hardly anything about me other than they're enormous. You know. No, I don't care what, you know, what people might say. You know, I don't see much connection between what we do and that at all. You know, you see those two bands, right? A Celtic, right? It's a Celtic thing, you know. Bono and Jim, you know, it's a very sort of grand Celtic, sweeping visions, you know, Hosanna, right? But we're kind of like industrial Anglo-Saxons, you know. It's a different vibe. That's pretty important. I'm interested in all that.
I mean, there's a Celtic, in a way, there's a link between you and some of the Glasgow bands coming out at the moment, which is smaller scale in a way than U2 and Simple Minds. Is it something about an industrial town?
I think it probably is. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't until we sort of got the chance to get out of Leicester really a lot, just by travelling around and doing gigs and doing things like this, you know. But you do see other places, and you realise just the extent of how interesting industrial it all was, all is there, or was. I can remember when I was growing up, you know, it was like, I grew up amongst like factories, you know, we all did, it's like heavy industries. And I think it's not the most sort of romantic of places, but it does give people a sort of, you know, a bit of a camaraderie, you know, and even a toughness, I think, somewhere.
Does that actually inspire your writing?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I wasn't aware of it at the time, you know, you never are, you know, you just sort of, you're writing, but now we've done our first album, you know, and it's there sort of forever as a document, then I do get that impression a lot, you know, that I can sort of see in like a lot of the lyrical sort of slants, you know, I can trace back to, you know, my own sort of psyche as I was like growing up. Yeah.
It's getting back to the sort of the careerist thing. It's actually quite difficult to know whether to go full out or just, you know, like stay low key and build up. Whose career path would you most like to follow?
Whose career path?
Yeah, I mean, what band in the past has actually sort of had the sort of success that you would like?
Well, I think it's always nice to, when you think about the Stones, the fact that they've been around for 30 years now, right? Or almost, you know, it seems, doesn't it? You know, and you know, it's always nice when you can chart not only the sort of pop star progress, you know, and the sort of chart the sort of success of a thing, but you can also chart like the kind of the way that the kind of musical progression with a small p. Often progression it needn't necessarily be the best thing, you know. Sometimes it's good to advance a bit and then nip back and catch some things from behind. I mean, I think the Stones is a pretty good thing. I mean, maybe just the longevity, you know.
Could you see yourself in the same band in 30 years' time, though?
It's a possibility.
And what's finally like, what's happening in the near future?
Well, we're doing obviously we like to record and we do like to keep like as a kind of creative thing, you know, like our own privacy, and we like to like record and rehearse. So we'll be doing that. But like we're doing a lot of touring and you know, America and stuff. Just
where's the most important?
Taking it to the people.
Where's the most important area for you to crack in terms of the States or Europe?
Well, you know, I mean, they say, don't they, that if you look at it purely as a sort of market and commercial thing, you know, then obviously the USA is the biggest place on earth, you know. But no, we're quite enjoying Europe actually. Yeah, I mean, you know, really, there's no more important place. It's just as long as, you know, where we're having the audacity to sell ourselves, people, you know, take it as gen and people enjoy what we're doing.
I think the great thing.
Phone is in pop, you know. Hopefully we ain't that.
I think the great thing about Europe, as opposed to the States or the UK, is that they don't necessarily listen to anything else around. They listen to the music.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Do you actually sort of get that out of when you play?
Yeah, I don't think that they're as hung up on, you know, this sort of his latest trend. You know, like we said earlier, and yeah, you get that impression. I mean, the Germans and the Dutch and the Danes and the Swiss, we've been playing all those countries, and you do get that thing. It's refreshing for a band that's sort of come from the centre of, like, you know, Fashionsville. Although I'm not saying we like adhered to it, you know, but you know, it's refreshing to sort of not have those constant sort of pressures. How's my hair?
Okay, that's great. Thanks very much. Do you want to go to a few shots of the other two people?
You know when this will be broadcast?
Okay, great.
No. Soon, I
Can we
think.
get the gentleman asking John for an autograph? Yeah. Listen, can you do? Yes, I'll have to send
Keep rolling.
Can you ask John for an autograph?
I know. I like that though. I think it just adds something extra to it.
Yeah, you must ask John on camera. Sorry, excuse me, can you give me an autograph?
You only talk Dutch, so...
It's okay, it's okay. Sorry.
Yeah, is it okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, just like
He thinks I'm Tony Bennett.
You must say to wait until they're ready. Wait.
Keep it from his pocket.
Ja,
Zij zo meteen oké, en dan zegt moeten we hem
Hallo meneer.
hem vragen of hij zijn
Meneer. Als u nou even in uw binnenzak steekt, niet pen ook, en dan even pakt en hem dan aanstoot.
Whose idea is this?
Dat is radio.
Nou, het speelt in de vaanders is, dan mag ik een handtekening van je. Ik wil graag een
Oké.
handtekening hebben. Mag ik een handtekening van jou?
I haven't got a pen. You got. Oh yeah, right, yeah.
Okay.
Just appeared from heaven. Okay. Right. My autograph. I'll use yours.
Kent hij in Zero?
Are the two ends in Sinatra?
Ja, best wel.
Okay. Thank you. Dank u.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup. Okay.
Heel spannend te worden. Terug.
He's our Dutch manager.
Butler?
Yeah, Butler, yeah.
Oh, great.